Hello and welcome to this latest one in our series of national election debates. The National Election Debates, a forum, a series of 6 or 7 big debates on different subjects leading up to a super general election, national election debate. The idea of the national election debates, ladies and gentlemen and viewers joining Times Now, wherever across India and the 46 countries where we are broadcasting this evening is simple on critical issues which will probably affect the way people vote, corruption, communalism, leadership, economy, foreign policy, and other such issues, an open debate in which we can go into each of these issues in detail. The purpose of this is this. The audience here, as well as people watching this program, can look at the detailed positions taken by various parties here on our debate and then decide which way we want to vote. The subject of this debate is this. In terms of leadership, who has the edge? The BJP, the Congress Party, or a third front / federal front / coalition government? Let's put it simply, who has the edge? The Congress, the BJP, or a coalition government? What do you want? And the rules are very, very simple. First of all, let me introduce my guests today. Starting from my left, we have 4 fantastic panelists. Let's give each of them a round of applause as I welcome them. And our first speaker from the left will be, we have 4 speakers, I'll introduce them all. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is a member of parliament in the Rajya Sabha. He represents the Congress Party, spokesperson for the party, a renowned lawyer, has served as Additional Solicitor General in 1997-98, one of the youngest people in India to hold that post. In the year 2001, he was appointed national spokesperson of the Congress Party, and following his election to the Rajya Sabha, he has been part of several parliamentary committees, including the Lokpal Committee, an alumnus of St. Stephen's College, Trinity College, Cambridge, and Harvard University. His credentials academically and politically are impeccable. Dr. Singhvi, thank you very much for joining me. And to his left, the youngest panelist on this panel today, Gaurav Bhatia of the Samajwadi Party. You may have seen him defending the indefensible as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned on several occasions. A man of impeccable reputation and legal skill, appointed as the Assistant Advocate General of Uttar Pradesh, Additional Advocate General of Uttar Pradesh, I stand corrected, in May 2012. He is the National President of the Legal and Lawyers Wing of the Samajwadi Party and has represented his party leaders Mulayam Singh Yadav and Akhilesh Yadav before the Allahabad High Court and the Supreme Court. Gaurav Bhatia, one of the feistiest voices from the Samajwadi Party. Welcome. Welcome to the debate. It's good to see. It's good to see the sub-40 generation on our national election debate. Good way to go, Gaurav. Good to see you. Not sub-40, but still young, and very much young at heart. Derek O'Brien, a man of many talents, famous as a quizmaster, an author, and now a politician. Derek started his profession as a professional journalist for the Sports World magazine, eventually moving on to Ogilvy. On the political front, he joined the All India Trinamool Congress in the year 2004. Currently, he is the National Vice President of the All India Trinamool Congress and its leader in the Rajya Sabha since August 2011. He has held various positions in parliamentary committees and since August 2009. Derek O'Brien...
Oh, no, don't get me into trouble. I'm not the leader, I'm the chief whip.
The chief whip.
My boss will get angry with me, yes.
Well, Derek O'Brien.
It's okay.
I can still give you a round of applause.
Yes, thank you.
Derek O'Brien.
Thank you.
A loyal member of the Trinamool Congress. Good to see you smile. We all grew up seeing you on the other side. I'm very happy today that you're on the other side, Derek. And you won't ask any quiz questions either. and our 4th panelist today, Ravi Shankar Prasad. He is a BJP MP in the Rajya Sabha. He's currently the deputy leader of the opposition in India's upper house. A lawyer by profession. His association with politics goes to the 70s. First elected to the Rajya Sabha in April 2000 during the NDA regime, Minister of State in different portfolios: coal, steel and mines, law and justice, information and broadcasting. Part of the BJP National Executive, has served in the roles of General Secretary and Chief National Spokesperson. A very experienced man, Ravi Shankar Prasad. Thank you for joining me today. And the rules of this debate are fairly simple. We will have 2.5 minutes, 2 to 2.5 minutes as opening comments. There will be interjections, and interjections can be brief in 30 seconds. If you cross 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes in your opening comments, the buzzer goes off. The questions have to be pointed within 30 seconds. After we finish the opening round, we'll have a show of hands who's voting on which side. After that, I will ask 4 questions to all the 4 parties to try and steer the debate in a certain direction, and by the end of it, we'll have an open debate and have another vote of hands, show of hands. If you wish to interject, you can interject at the end of a person's what he says. You can interject in the middle. If you feel anyone's saying something factually incorrect, you can raise your hand and say fact checked. Fact check means the other side has to concede. But be sure, gentlemen, that you have your facts right when you're doing a fact check. Our opening speaker today, on the defensive, I presume, on this subject, Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, on the issue of leadership.
You're totally wrong, as many times. No question of being defensive. I think for the debate to be meaningless, we should start looking at the qualities of a leader. A leader does not have to have muscular aggression to be a leader. There can be people whom you think are leaders, but they can be bad leaders. I think innovation is a key to leadership. I think the ability to mold consensus is a key to leadership. I think the ability to be able to carry people with you is a key to leadership. I think the person who is able to not only say that he knows the way, but is able to show the way is leadership. And most importantly, I think a true leader is one who does not blame others, takes the blame himself, and has humility. So while you might consider, and he was in a sense a very great leader, Hitler, but he was not an effective leader. He was perhaps instrumentally a great leader, but morally repugnant. You have leaders who are too rigid. You have leaders who are otherwise too full of themselves. So I think we have to put this debate within the confines of what a leader should be. I am not suggesting, by the way, that any one person is the ultimate leader. I don't even want to suggest it for the Congress party. I don't want to suggest it for the Congress president or for a previous Congress prime minister or for Rahul Gandhi. But I do want to say that leadership qualities in a large, abundant measure have been in the party in persons who have given this country governance for many decades. After all, even in the recent past, when have you seen 10 years of continuous governance by one party? It can't be that just because there are elections, just because there is a certain amount of anti-incumbency, just because on the economic front you have 8.5 very good times and you have 1.5 years of not so good times, your memory is supposed to be so selective that you will forget all the good times. So I think at the end of the day, you must define leadership and then you will go into the nitty-gritty of what these leaders have done with those qualities.
Thank you very much for your opening comments. Any interjections from any of our other panelists? Would you like to have interjections, or are you letting Dr. Singhvi off the hook right at the start? Are you letting him off the hook? You're all letting him off the hook?
I have only one interjection to make.
Please go ahead.
A leader, consensus builder, corruption happening, looking the other way, citing compulsions of coalition politics, scam after scam, stinking corruption, yet looking the other way. What kind of leader is this? A consensus builder or playing havoc with the country? That I would like to know from Mr. Singhvi.
I thought we started the debate on the principle of it. Let's not get into the nitty-gritty straight away. But since you have, let me tell you, a leader is not somebody who can guarantee the prevention of corruption. A leader is somebody who, when corruption happens, is seen to be taking action. There is no government, I repeat, certainly not an NDA government, certainly no other party government, which has taken pointed action whenever not even credible, not even proved allegations of corruption have come. And let me tell you one more thing. You don't have to be, as I said, muscularly arrogant to be a leader. Dr. Manmohan Singh is not in the true sense a politician. He's a renowned academic. He has been feted by top newspapers. But what have you got in 10 years of his governance? He talks about the corruption which you've had in some cases where people have lost their post. But does he talk about unprecedented rights in these 10 years under leadership? The world's largest social welfare scheme, the world's largest right to work, Manrega, the right to education, the right to food.
You are serious,
the right
Abhishek?
to information.
Where does it come from? About it?
This is leadership.
This happened in spite of RTI.
Leadership.
This happened in spite of all
the
the
good things which happen in spite of us. They happen by heaven. But the bad things which happen because of this. That's
it took our Prime Minister 1 year to respond to the CWG and 2G scam. It took him 6 months to speak on Lokpal. It took him 82 days on the impasse over the FDI in retail.
Yes,
it took him 9 to the Delhi gang rape.
Yes.
It took him 9 for the beheading at the LOC. On 27th of August 2012, and I should not actually enter the debate at this point, but I am tempted to, when attacked by the opposition over his silence, he said, "Hazaron jawabon se achhi hai meri khamoshi, na jane kitne sawalon ki abru rakhe." In other words, it has been my general practice not to respond to criticism directed at me. My question is, can a leader retreat behind prolonged periods of silence when the need of the hour in this country is communication and accessibility? But in any case,
just one second, Arnab. I'm very happy that you raised the question of form over substance. A leader is not somebody who speaks more and does less. Let's take each of the examples. He doesn't speak about Lokpal, but who gives you Lokpal? Dr. Manmohan Singh, Congress, Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi. He doesn't speak about rape. Who gives you the Nirbhaya law?
That is too much. That is a little too much.
You gave us the RTI. You had 7 years. You gave us the right to food, the right to education. Yes, you do have a leader who says, "Main, mera, hum, main." Everything main. But what does he do?
I remember.
What has he concretely done?
I remember a Prime Minister...
Judge him by his actions, not by his words.
I remember a Prime Minister who said, "I don't know where the coal files went missing." But I will come to that later. Gaurav Bhatia, you had a rebut there for Dr. Singhvi, please. I'm sorry to have got tempted to get into the debate right at the start. I should have held myself back. Gaurav Bhatia. I'm not yet informed.
This includes my 2.5 minutes as well.
No, this is only your question.
Okay.
You've let the Congress off the hook?
No.
Because they let you off the hook.
I was very particular about my time because I'm used to you interjecting. So therefore, I wanted to make sure I'll get my share of time.
If you have a question. This time I won't.
I wanted to just correct Mr. Singhvi with utmost respect. He said that corruption has been handled with a tough hand and the Prime Minister intervened. I think with all the larger scams that happened, whether it was the CWG, whether it was the 2G where the Supreme Court had to interfere, and now again the Colgate scam, which is being heard by the Supreme Court, it is the judiciary of this country that came forward to hear the problems of corruption. And it wasn't the ruling UPA government. I think it is time that they take responsibility for that. And it is not enough to just legislate. It is also important that the leaders learn the importance of leading by example.
Abhishek Singhvi, respond.
I think anything and everything which has happened, from Ashok Chavan resigning as Chief Minister before even a FIR is filed, from Mr. Natwar Singh leaving a post of Foreign Minister, from Mr. Raja leaving his post.
Comment, Mr. Ashok Chavan is let off. At least speak the truth, Mr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
Let's not change topics. Now, how many times, I want to know, when your president is found on candid camera, a person you've forgotten, it took you 2 years to set up a commission called the Tehelka Commission to find what the cameras had recorded. It took you another 2 years. Within 1 year, you reappointed Mr. George Fernandez. You did not take any action. Now the point is,
not make a right.
The point
is time that we stop pointing fingers at others.
If the court has wanted any assistance,
start explaining our own
conduct. The court has
conduct.
got its full assistance. There are inquiries about CWG. People have lost their post. Mr. Kalmadi is no longer having a position of power on suspicion. Nothing is proved against him yet. The point of the matter is,
Kalmadi today.
No, I'm saying that the action has been taken. But can I say, Arnab, that you must catch somebody by the neck and hang him by the nearest pole before a conviction?
You didn't answer.
He doesn't enjoy any post.
No, his question was, we have a Prime Minister who is a specialist in giving himself a clean chit.
There is absolutely no reason why he should not give a clean chit on two fronts.
But then
one,
he gives himself
whenever there is an allegation of corruption, concrete action is taken, and there is absolutely nothing about the Prime Minister.
Dr. Singhvi.
Has there been any incident where the Law Minister of the country has seen the affidavit and has tampered with the affidavit before it is filed before the Supreme Court? And he had to resign. He had to resign for that.
Charge against any Law Minister, but yet the UPA former Law Minister left his post on what was deemed to be an impropriety.
Gaurav Bhatia, and by the way,
how many times the other parties have done this?
Let's give Abhishek Manu Singhvi a little round of applause. He needs some encouragement today because he's been on the back foot on the issue of leadership, but he's fighting back. Gaurav Bhatia, Mulayam Singh Yadav says, "मैं तो कोई साधु सन्यासी नहीं हूँ, मैं भी प्रधानमंत्री बनना चाहता हूँ." So tell us why हम Mulayam Singh Yadav को प्रधानमंत्री क्यों बनाएं?
Yes.
Why should we make him Prime Minister?
I have been there while Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav has made number of speeches. And he has always said one thing, that I want the maximum number of MPs from my party to win. and we have worked hard in the state of UP in the last 2 years. I have never heard him saying what you were saying here, but I would still add a caveat to that. Say if he has said that I want to be the Prime Minister of the country.
You haven't heard him. No. Fact check. I have a fact check.
Now this is the real Arnab coming. You know, let me have my 2.5 minutes for the first time. You know, when I'm standing in front of you, just 2.5 minutes. I'll reply to every question that you ask me. I assure you that. Every person in the country can dream of becoming the Prime Minister. There is nothing wrong if you aspire to be the Prime Minister of the country. But ultimately, who decides the person who will be the Prime Minister? It is the people of India. If the people of India vote for Samajwadi Party and we get our 60 seats, 70 seats, and there is a third front government, and if the government, all the constituents decide that Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav would be heading that government, there is nothing wrong. So I don't know, when Mr. Narendra Modi talks about being the Prime Minister, it is fine. When Mr. Rahul Gandhi will be the Prime Minister, it is fine. But if it is a regional leader who has done a lot in public life, who has spent last 50 years delivering to the common man, then there is a question mark that why should he dream of becoming the Prime Minister? I think every citizen of this country can dream of being the Prime Minister of this country, and there is nothing wrong with that.
Now, thank you. I just want to, because we are meeting face to face in this debate for the first time, I allowed you there. But this is what he said on December 23rd, 2013. He says, "Mere dil mein aag jal rahi hai." He says, "Hamare dil mein kya aag nahi jal rahi hai?" In the context of
this was a meeting at the party headquarters.
Yes,
and I know what exactly happened in the meeting.
Then he
was addressing the party workers, and he said, "I urge all of you to go out to the field, let the people of the state know what all we have done in the last 2 years, and give me the maximum number of seats."
Why are you interrupting me?
I've learned that style from you.
हमारे दिल में क्या आग नहीं जल रही है? क्या हम कोई साधु सन्यासी है? You have made my son, the young son, the chief minister. What about me? मेरा क्या होगा? Will you not make me something?
Right.
Akhilesh Yadav is talking about.
Right.
He's talking about himself.
I think
he's not talking about the people. He's talking about himself.
This is not what happened in the party.
You prove me wrong.
I will.
You prove me wrong.
Only if I'm allowed to speak.
You can't.
This is not exactly what happened in the party headquarters, but I think I have replied to the comment that you just read, that every person can aspire, can dream of becoming the Prime Minister of the country, as long as he enjoys the confidence of the common man, as long as he's serving the common man, and that is the foremost principle that we need to follow in public life.
Including Mamta Banerjee, and working hard to make Mamta Banerjee Prime Minister of India, taking part in our leadership debate. Our third speaker, his 2 minutes start now, Derek O'Brien. Derek.
First, let me clarify. Mamta Banerjee has lived a life of struggle for 30 years. She has not ever pursued a chair, and nor is she desperate to become the Prime Minister of India.
That's what...
Not at all. Please let me clarify it here and now. That's not the issue. I think in the first 12 minutes of what we heard on leadership is, I think, with all due respect to the two seniors here, Mr. Prasad and Mr. Singhvi of the Congress, politicians today have forgotten the art of listening. From the time we've started this debate on leadership, it's about tu, me, what you did, what I did, what you did, what I did. And this has become the situation a lot in the media today, because when we talk about leadership, we are focused to two leaders of two parties. My submission is that for the last 15 years, India has seen coalition governments, and there's a very good chance that in the next 15 years, we will also see coalition governments. So the two gentlemen representing these two parties, Mr. Singhvi did a very smart thing in a debate. Don't get personal, talk about shusha and leadership. Like Drucker, like everyone else. You know, it's all very well talking about reading all those soft skills books, but our judgment of leaders today is, how do you connect with the people? What is your track record of connecting with the people? I'm not in the habit of asking quiz questions, but I must ask one quiz question. Since independence, how many senior Congress leaders have left the Congress party and survived? P. Chidambaram started a new party, was swallowed up later by the Congress. a gentleman whose name I shall not take, left the Congress party. No, I will not.
Take it.
And now he is the highest constitutional post in the country. He started a new party, got subsumed. Even a gentleman in Maharashtra, let me just finish this one point, since I haven't spoken for the first 1 minute. Even the gentleman in Maharashtra, the strongman there, or the former strongman, still runs a coalition government. There is only one person in independence who has left the Congress party and run a government and knocked the communists out after 30 years. Give the lady credit where it's due. Give the lady credit where it's due. This is not a debate about who shall be the next prime minister. The next prime minister will be decided by those parties who together reach 273. Now it looks like to be, if you look at the media time and the print column centimeters, it looks like to be a two-horse race. But as it so often happens, the third horse comes and wins. My submission today is young India and India is looking for three things. They are looking for a credible alternative to weed out corruption. 2, they abhor dynastic politics. And 3, they are looking for new ideas which will bring a whole lot of things under price rise. And I want to submit one more thing.
Mr. O'Brien, when you were a quizmaster,
let me just finish, Arnab.
You would listen to the buzzer.
I'll listen to the buzzer, but I'd always give the students a little 5 seconds extra.
You're not a student.
And the last thing is, if these are the 3 aspirations of young India, the way it will pan out in May, the Congress is not the answer to the BJP is not the answer to the Congress. That is my submission.
Okay, Derek O'Brien, any counters? Well spoken. Any counters to Derek O'Brien, please?
Yes,
Abhishek Manu Singhvi as a counter. A fact check?
Yeah, well, kind of factual correction. The Congress being the oldest party, 125 years, you can probably ascribe a large part of the political spectrum from left to right to ex-congressmen. Mr. Derek O'Brien is completely wrong in elevating Ms. Mamata Banerjee as the only surviving politician outside of the Congress.
I said one thing.
I can take you many names.
Mr. Singhvi, let me make my point.
Can I complete my point?
Let me make my point. Since you said it's a factual correction, what did I say which was factually wrong?
Yes.
Tell me.
You didn't give the example to Mr. Pawar. You didn't give the example of Mr. Sangma.
I gave the example of Mr. Pawar. I gave the example.
In fact, the difference is...
Let me finish. Since you said Pawar and Sangma...
Your point is that Ms. Mamata Banerjee is the only person. She's not. And Ms. Mamata Banerjee has been in alliance with both me and Mr. Shankar Prasad.
Mr. Singhvi, let me tell you, factually, you may disagree with other stuff I said, but factually, the 2 people. Mr. Pawar runs a government in Maharashtra in coalition with the Congress, so he's still attached to the Congress.
Yes, that's
and
the
Mr. Sangma... That's my point. Mamata Banerjee doesn't need the Congress. We are fighting alone. Listen to it. Don't try alliance.
You're wrong.
Why?
Your point was that the only person surviving having left the Congress is Mamata Banerjee.
You missed my point.
Now let me complete. You spoke and let me make my interjection.
You're a very good lawyer and I'm a very bad lawyer.
Let me forget lawyering. Let's go to facts.
This is the
Sharad
fact.
Pawar
Mr. Singhvi, let me finish. Mr. Singhvi, here's the fact.
You ever consider the possibility? You ever consider the possibility you may need his support or he may need your support?
Can I make the point? You can rebut it then.
They need life support.
Derek,
not my support.
Can I make the point?
They need life support.
Can I make the point? Number one,
Mr. Pawar runs a coalition with you in Maharashtra. Mr. Sangma is RIP. And
so
I say that with all respect.
One.
But Mamata Banerjee is running an independent government. That's all I said.
It's all very good to call your boss the great survivor.
No, give me the fact.
Let him complete now. No, Derek, let him make his point.
Fact check.
No, 1 second. You can't do a fact check on your own.
You have full right to praise your boss to the skies. Look, again you are interrupting me. Please.
I haven't said a word.
Please.
Body language only.
I'm only correcting you that Ms. Mamata Banerjee is not the only such person.
Give me one more.
Mr. Pawar, Mr. Sangma and many more, both they are in coalition with us. And Ms. Mamata Banerjee has been in coalition with both us
so
and
Dr. Singhvi, what you are saying today,
for long
what you are saying is
in
that
government, holding cabinet posts.
So what you are saying today is that for people to be successful in politics, they must quit the Congress party.
No. Well, certainly. Almost all political careers of notable success have started from the Congress.
Okay, a fourth speaker.
There.
Any other interjections for Derek O'Brien?
I just had a question to ask you.
Yes.
Who
are you asking the question to?
You.
Me?
Yes. I just wanted to ask, I didn't get my 2.5 minutes to actually present my views on leadership and the formation of...
No, we'll come back to you. We'll come back to you.
He's taken 4.5
I think you took the time. 1 second. No questions. No questions.
No, Mr. Singhvi, that's why I was so quiet for the first 10 minutes.
Well, our fourth speaker on the issue of leadership is Ravi Shankar Prasad of the BJP.
Well, India is a very big country. And the Prime Minister of India or person claiming to be the Prime Minister must be the real leader of India. A leader with credibility, a leader with authority, and a leader who can command allegiance. He should not be like a CEO taking direction from the 2 members of the board residing at 10 Janpath. Unfortunately, what has happened is, you cannot have a Prime Minister for 10 years who looks the other way when India's international image is being dented. When there is inflation, when there is stinking corruption, when you are presiding over a government which is the most corrupt since independence. It is in this context that we are talking about leadership. And therefore, here is a case when Narendra Modi emerges, a person born in want, who is never at all cagey about openly admitting that my mother used to wash the clothes of my neighbors. She educated me. Who is never shy of admitting I used to sell tea on the tea stall of my father. From there he grows, becomes the chief minister, not once but thrice, gives a record of governance, of integrity, of leadership, repeatedly polled the most popular leader in India. That is where, in sharp contrast to the way Abhishek's party have governed India, people are yearning for a change, for my party and for Narendra Modi. That is the basic issue of 2014. And therefore, I would like to say only one thing. One is a born leader who becomes popular. Jawaharlal Nehru became the Prime Minister. Atal Bihari Vajpayee became the Prime Minister. Then you have leaders like Lal Bahadur Shastri, who became the Prime Minister, grew, is still rated today. Like Indira Gandhi, who became popular. One, you have leaders who were like CEOs of India, who are not willing to speak even a word when everything was... Come on, Abhishek. RTI was passed, yet Colgate files were lost. When as the Prime Minister, he was looking after the coal department. You have a scam after a scam. You had 2G right under his nose. Ministers were looting the country. Therefore, I'm only saying India deserves better. Indians deserve better. And the only answer is Narendra Modi having popular support and the BJP.
Okay, interjections 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
It needs to be a rebuttal as well. Interjection and rebuttal.
Interjection and rebuttal, go ahead.
First,
You did not say about rebuttal. I could have rebutted him then itself.
Okay, we have
a double standard.
You did about corruption and all that.
I asked questions.
Question and interjection allowed rebuttals later. We have a lot of time in this debate.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is already...
For 2 more months in government, he must be a little nice to
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad...
All right, granted.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has already anointed Mr. Modi the Prime Minister. This is the cardinal mistake which people like Mr. Pramod Mahajan and other people in his party made Mr. Vajpayee do in 2004.
They will select Modi.
2004.
I will not.
India shining.
I never said that.
BJP is coming back.
The people
Nobody
of India
else.
will do that.
This is presumptuousness.
No.
Don't be presumptuous with the electorate.
I'm sorry.
What is your question?
Can I?
And I would have to say here,
Can I come?
we don't indulge into Rag Darbari, that a young man is not going to become the leader, yet there is a Rag Darbari
Let's
going
see.
on in the party.
No.
Come on, become the leader.
Find out.
And he's shying away from becoming the leader.
Now, we'll find that out.
Which young man are you talking about?
Whom you interviewed very recently. Okay. Who is elected to become.
Abhishek Singhvi, ask your question.
I find the same presumptuousness as prevailed in 2004 and
What's
we all
your
know
question?
the results.
Question.
But my question is threefold.
Yeah.
One is the leadership issue which is being raised again and again. This very debate is flawed unless you realize that there is no leadership in the classic presidential sense. This country remains a parliamentary democracy. You elect regional people, you elect people in your constituency who then elect the leader. There is no such self-appointed leader as they would like Mr. Modi to be. Secondly, your party announced the demise of this government, I remember in September 2004, on this old cliched dual system of power. Unfortunately, for 10 years, you have all these achievements, you have both the systems of power working in harmony. Very rarely does it happen that there is no difference, there is no collision. And in fact, the party is strong and the Prime Minister is strong. And the Prime Minister said on day one, the mandate was for Mrs. Gandhi. Mrs. Gandhi said on day one, openly, I don't want to accept the mandate. Now, this is something the BJP is not been able to digest. If you look up the papers, September 04.
What's your question?
December 0. My question is that
Now
this whole debate,
What's your question?
this whole debate,
Talk about 2014.
this whole debate is nothing but each BJP person falling over himself to anoint in an absolutely starry-eyed system, autocratic, completely one-sided, one man. This whole messiah for the country is one man. That's fortunately not the Indian system.
Then if that is the case, then why are there...
If that
is
the remote
case,
control of that
if
one
that
man,
is, if that is the case, if you don't need a leader...
lies in Nagpur. That remote control is
Okay, I think you're making a statement and not a question. Therefore, I will...
Mr. Singhvi, it doesn't matter.
Only questions to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
No, I just want to
Questions only
clarify,
Ravi
since
Shankar.
he's on the subject of remote control, one lies in Nagpur, one lies in Delhi. What, I mean, that...
Where do you want it?
Wherever.
Kolkata.
No. No, I'll tell you. I'll tell you where we want it. I'll tell you where we want it. We want it in a system of operative federalism. I won't discuss it now. But my question to Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad is, since we all saw what happened in that kindergarten interview, I mean, Mr. Singhvi even can't defend it. But
Who's in kindergarten?
The kindergarten interview. It's the kindergarten interview.
Which one?
Sorry?
Which?
The one where you were only playing a side part. You were only playing a supporting role. For once, you were only playing a supporting role. But let's give credit where it's due. At least he came for the kindergarten interview.
Sir, your leader hasn't given me an interview for a long time.
My question is, where is Mr. Narendra Modi of the BJP ever sat down and given an interview?
What's the relevance to the leadership?
Because he has to answer some questions.
No, he did sit down and he walked out when the difficult questions
My question is, there are lots of issues which the nation wants to know about.
What's your question to Ravi Shankar?
My question, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, is who gave me the impression in his opening remarks that the gentleman concerned has expressed his views on a variety of subjects. So my question is, why doesn't the gentleman sit down at a 90-minute interview and talk to a stimulus rather than delivering a monologue?
After that.
Right.
That's my question.
First of all, I never
It's not a criticism, it's a clarification.
All right.
But don't believe me.
All right. First of all, let me clarify, Abhishek Manu Singhvi. When we talk of leader, our leader is not elected or selected or chosen in a dynasty at 10 Janpat. Okay? We have got a proper system whereby the party elected him as a leader. There were other leaders as well. But I never said that he has become the Prime Minister. I have only said he has the credentials to become the leader of India, and I'm quite sure the people are going to choose him whenever elections takes place. That's how I say it, because the people are the masters. Secondly, by the way, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, I'm sorry, I would like to remind you, you talked about a lot the MPs electing the leader. Was Rajiv Gandhi elected by MPs when he was?
Of course he was. Of course he was.
Please listen to me. Unfortunate death of Indira Gandhi. Was Rajiv Gandhi elected by the leaders when he was sworn by Jail Singh? Come on. He was not.
Let me answer
he
after
was,
you finish.
Yes, he was not.
After you finish.
Today, you all are persuading Rahul Gandhi to become the leader. And the moment he says yes, forget all the nicety of PM approving it, there will be celebration in the Congress party. Therefore, please, let us not talk about that. The point is, I'm trying to say is, it is nothing like self-appointed. There is a process. And you must answer, Abhishek, the yearning for change and the appreciation or the longing for Narendra Modi is directly proportionate to the manner in which you all have governed India. Policy paralysis, corruption, inflation, unemployment. Therefore, India is yearning for change and India deserves better. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you. He is talking to the people of India. North India, South India, East India, West India, wherever Narendra Modi is going, lakhs and lakhs of people are going to listen to him. He will talk to you as well.
I'm also
wait for the time.
May I just ask him a question?
A question.
He made a point. Has Narendra Modi been appointed by the MPs who are still to be elected?
Yes. All right.
MPs have not been elected.
I'm happy.
How is Narendra Modi named the prime ministerial candidate when it has been a precedence in our parliamentary form of democracy that the elected MPs or the elected MLAs, they decide who their leader would be?
I'm very happy that Gaurav, my young friend, has asked me this question, forgetting completely. that Akhilesh Yadav was nominated as the Prime Minister by his father, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Not at all.
But no problem. No problem.
Factually,
take it cool.
Factually incorrect.
Take it cool. Take it cool. Take it cool.
I will tell you that during the elections, there was no chief ministerial candidate. Factually incorrect. And after the results came, there was a meeting in February where all the MLAs assembled and they voted that Mr. Akhilesh Yadav should be made the chief minister of
I
state of
don't
UP.
want to speak anything more. Let's leave it there. At least allow me to reply.
There was all probability that Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav would become the chief minister. I think you're getting the facts
I think that
wrong.
I'm sorry, I don't want to become at all that frank. We all know how many uncles
you can be frank with me.
How many
There's nothing
uncles
wrong
of
in being
Akhilesh
frank.
Yadav
I think the audience would love it if you're frank.
Let's leave it there. I have to say only one thing. In the BJP, we have got a process whereby the parliamentary board, the topmost body, decided. The topmost body, bigger body, national executive approved it. These are the two topmost bodies. Therefore, in terms of our constitution, Mr. Narendra Modi, by proper consultation, has been declared. The matter ends there.
Where are the MPs?
And thereafter, after election, MPs will give their approval.
Okay, one minute. Can I have a show of hands at this point?
Yes.
Just to get a sense of how this audience is thinking?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give three options, and I'll come back to this. This debate is going to continue. India needs leadership. In terms of leadership, my question to you is, who has the upper hand? Who has the edge? How many of you feel BJP has the edge? How many of you feel Congress has the edge? UPA, Congress has the edge? Come on.
There is no hand. Come on. Abhishek, look. Abhishek,
There is one hand, in fact.
You are absolutely right. If reality or virtual reality was Arnab's studio and this was the electorate, we've lost. But you remember what happened in 2009? You had the same Mr. Advani saying the same things, projected as the same leader as the Prime Minister.
How many
be arrogant. Learn to
I'll tell you about arrogance.
young people
I'll tell you about arrogance.
At least.
No, I am not bound. You are pandering to the gallery. I am not bound by this electorate. What I am bound is to point out to you.
Are you gallery? This is too much.
No, you are pandering to the gallery.
You are not. Say that.
You are pandering to the gallery because you happen to have a majority there. But will you answer one
Happen
question?
to have?
Will you answer one
reality.
question?
It is the reality.
Okay, Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Will you? No, one question.
Okay, sir.
No, one question.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Thank you.
You talk about dynasty.
You see, this is the majority you need of the non-Congress, non-BJP.
I have one
answer a question.
This is the majority you need.
And
one second.
how many of you feel that Mamata Banerjee?
No, we don't say Mamata Banerjee.
Third front. How many of you feel a federal government, non-Congress, non-BJP government? How many of you feel non-Congress, non-BJP government?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No,
I have a question. No. We are now going into some. I said I'll ask 4 specific questions.
One very quick point.
I have 4 specific
Ravi
questions.
Shankar Prasad ever talk of dynasty when his oldest ally is Badal's? Does he ever talk of dynasty when his second oldest ally is Thakre's?
Okay.
Why does he think of dynasty only then? He's so much against dynasty. Why does he ally repeatedly with them?
Dr. Singhvi,
a dynasty point which he has put in 10 elections
Dr. Singhvi,
and lost 8 of them.
So we have another debate on dynasty.
Dr. Singhvi, my question, I have 4 questions. I have 4 questions.
Elected in Lok Sabha is no more a dynasty.
I have a submission. It's a very interesting show of hands you've got today.
Yes.
But I would urge you, and I take whatever they're saying with the deepest of respect and humility. If you have this debate with a young audience, try it in Chennai, try it in Bhubaneswar, try it in Kolkata. You'll get a different feel of hands. The only common hand you'll get is the hand will always be down.
It is absurd. It is absurd that you should say so, knowing that Delhi itself has a non-Congress, non-BJP government right now. Please take that back, Derek O'Brien.
So I'm saying that. Oh no, I'm agreeing with you, my friend.
So then,
when there is an alternative to the Congress and the BJP across the country, that's the alternative people want.
My question to you is this.
Yes.
And stand true to the set of circumstances that have happened in the past. I have had many qualities I know, but I never knew I was also a potential disc jockey. I'm the only one who makes a politician dance.
Okay.
In 2009, your leader, Mamata Banerjee, thoroughly, totally and unequivocally dismissed the idea of a third front or a coalition government being good for this country. She said, if such a government happens, Derek O'Brien, she says it will break up. She said that all the parties who talk of a third front are only pushing a personal agenda. And she said, Mamata Banerjee said, they will eventually coalesce around a national party during alliance formation. The same Mamata Banerjee. And the same Derek O'Brien. The same Derek O'Brien.
What are we discussing?
The same Derek O'Brien.
The third front includes the CPM. We still abhor that concept.
This is,
what are you talking about?
Derek O'Brien, today you tell me that in 2009, Mamata Banerjee didn't like the idea of a coalition government. Today you say she does. No. I want you to explain to me how your leader can change her position between one general election and the other. And I can quote Mamata Banerjee to you if you want. That's my question to you.
Let me respond in two ways.
Yes.
We joined the UPA in 2009. And instead, in spite of having ministers, 5-6 ministers, we thought that they were going off track. We talked to them right through 2012. We gave up and walked out of government in 2012.
You had no faith in regional parties coming together.
If you say that, if you say we have no faith in regional parties, it is totally an antithesis to what we are.
Exactly.
We are born and brought up in Bengal.
But your leader said it. But your leader said it. She said there was an election rally. There was an election rally in Bakshi.
Quoting out of context.
I am not quoting out of context.
Good television bites. It doesn't make for a good debate.
Mamata Banerjee said, and you listen to me, she said all these parties that form this so-called third front have a personal agenda, and in fulfilling them, the front will break up. In fulfilling their personal agenda, they will break up.
Reading cold
These are Mamata Banerjee's words.
Reading cold researchers' notes, or rather researchers' cold notes will not give you the picture of what Mamata Banerjee is. Please don't do that. Let me make my 2 points.
Are you embarrassed by what your leader has said, Derek O'Brien, in the past? Are you embarrassed by what she has herself said in the past?
Absolutely not. Let me explain the concept.
Context. Are you
Let me explain the
concept.
Let me explain the concept.
What concept?
When a coalition government is inevitable, as it was in 2009, it was inevitable in 2004. I told you at the top of the program, for 15 years we've had coalition governments. I promise you we're going into another coalition. One second. We are going into another coalition. Right? In spite of all the 56-inch chest thumping and whatever Mr. Singhvi says, we are going into a coalition. That's the reality. And I think Delhi is a good example.
You don't like a coalition.
Delhi is a good example when there is an option to the Congress and the BJP, like there is an option in Orissa, in Bihar, in Tamil Nadu, and a whole lot of other states. That's the option which people will take.
I'm asking you today, just admit it, Derek O'Brien, that you've done a U-turn. Your leader has done a U-turn.
No, absolutely not. If you think we walked out of government because of price rise, because of corruption, if you think that is U-turn, that's your interpretation. We walked out in September 2012.
Any responses?
I'm glad we did.
Any responses at this point of time from any of the other panelists, or should I move to my next question?
I would just like to add to what
you want to come in. 1 second. By the way, okay, 3 questions. Okay, quick.
Yeah. One is,
one sentence
comment. One of the biggest remote controls, as far as Trinamool is concerned, lies in the hands of a lady. In the middle of a debate, she can change the leader of the house if he speaks contrary to what she says. And secondly, she has changed.
Who's talking about remote control? You'll manufacture the remote control.
That's why I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling you. You use it.
Okay, Gaurav Bhatia.
What Mr. O'Brien said.
Mr. Singhvi, I will concede. Sometimes, yes, sometimes there's a remote control. Even if I concede that, which I don't, but I concede that remote control has to be earned. It has to be earned with a 26-day fast. It has to be earned by beaten by the communists. It has to be earned. It doesn't come to you on a silver tray.
One minute. No. Gaurav Bhatia's rebut.
Mr. Derek O'Brien made a very pertinent point, and Delhi, I think, is a very good example. The BJP was very hopeful that it would form the government in Delhi, but the electorate college over here got an alternate like Aam Aadmi Party, and they voted for that. And if there is an alternate third front force in the country, which is also stable, stability is important. And if the voters get it, I'm sure they will go for a third front regional party kind of government rather than a Congress or a BJP.
Secular.
It is secular, pro-development, inclusive, because what we are missing here is, and I have some questions for Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
My question for you is, it's my turn to ask questions.
You will. But
it's my turn to ask questions. I feel that the entire charge.
The BJP coronation. That is what I intend to say. He wasn't hesitant in admitting that he is a tea vendor.
Make my observations.
He is a tea vendor. Then why is he hesitant to apologize for what happened in Godhra?
When will Mulayam apologize for
Muzaffarnagar, the chief minister himself, in an interview with...
My question to you is...
In an interview with all the leading channels, the young CM, Mr. Akhilesh Yadav, was the first one to accept responsibility and apologize for Muzaffarnagar. And please give him his credit.
I wonder why your chief minister is too scared to speak to Times Now. It's
That's
the only
an
channel he doesn't speak
now.
to. I'd say this to you, and my second question is to you, is answer this question, that is this whole, you had the secular front, secular leader. Your leader, Atiq Ahmed, says the people who are living in the relief camps in Muzaffarnagar are professional beggars. Is that secularism, sir? Is that secularism? Is that secularism?
I would just
with that kind of a track record.
I would just say
with that kind of a track record.
Being an Indian, it's not about being affiliated to any party. But any such leader in any party, if he makes such a statement, he should not be contesting. And most important, that is not the stand that my party has taken.
Well,
so I condemn it. It should not have been said.
When your leaders go on European holidays to Rome and Venice in the name of a parliamentary delegation.
Yes.
When your leader, allow me to complete.
When Times Now chases them without even knowing what they are doing there, whether there is an itinerary or not, please now see the report that they have presented. It is important that you do not disrupt the activities of a delegation because it shows India also in poor light. I do not agree and I do not subscribe to such journalism where official delegations are being chased by Times Now or any other channel.
And by the way, let me place on record that some of those activities include boat cruises in Amsterdam at the taxpayers' expense. Salman Khan dancing. Salman Khan dancing in a party.
I will tell you something.
Salman Khan dancing. Salman Khan dancing in sci-fi. When 34
our turn to stop.
When 34 children. When 34 children died. When 34 children died in Muzaffarnagar.
The good thing is that you can't mute my mic here, so you know I would just say this, Arnab, that all these public representatives are to be trusted, even by channels. And if they do something wrong, there is a proper time and place. You should have waited for them to come back.
This is about leadership. This debate about leadership.
You have to win our trust.
No, he's bringing these points. So as a party representative, I have to reply to this.
I am saying to your you should say to your leaders, जो कहते हैं पर हम साधु संत भी तो नहीं है. You should tell them that you have to win the trust of the people.
2.5 crore.
I want to ask.
2.5 crore votes he got in state of UP. Much more than any other place. Can you say 2.5 crore of the citizens of India do not know what they are doing? I think they are conscious enough of their rights. They made a choice. Let the 2014 results come. You will get a befitting reply.
Sardar Patel said that the Hindu Mahasabha was directly involved in Mahatma Gandhi's assassination and that the RSS has close links.
Young India is watching. This is not what they want. Congress, BJP, communal play. Talk about governance. Talk about industry. Talk about jobs. Talk about education. Stop this crosstalk. Stop this crosstalk.
Very good. Keep it up.
My question to Ravi Shankar Prasad, it's my turn to ask questions. You talked about the dual power center, sir. Let's be very clear. You have criticized the Congress party for the dual power center under the UPA regime. Do you want me to remind you today about the multiple power centers when Vajpayee was in power? Then RSS chief K.S. Sudarshan took a jibe at Vajpayee's foster son-in-law Ranjan Bhattacharya without naming him, alleging that he was acting as an extra constitutional authority, none other than the Prime Minister's office. Mr. Sudarshan was quoted as having said, persons who were not accountable to the public in any manner should not have any extra constitutional authority. With that kind of a background, I ask you today, Ravi Shankar Prasad, what right do you have to talk about dual power centers?
Well, Mr. Sudarshan is now dead. I don't know he ever made a comment like that.
I can quote him to you, sir.
All right.
I can quote him to you, sir.
As far as the governance record of Mr. Vajpayee is concerned, it is for everyone to see. Just to remind you, in the year 1998, he lost his government by 1 vote. And it is quite easy to manage one MP to survive in power.
Sir, was Ranjan Bhattacharya a dual power center?
I'm sorry, he was not, and you are, I'm sorry to say, when Mr. Bajpayee is unwell, you are raking up that. That is grossly unfair, and I condemn it. I condemn it completely. It is wrong, I deny it. But let me come to the larger issue you are raising. Whether it is Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee or Narendra Modi, we are a democratic party, not governed by any dynasty. We have debates, we have discussions, and their record of governance is there. Whether Mr. Bajpayee at the center for 6 years, of which I have the privilege to be a minister, or Mr. Narendra Modi for 12 years. That is, people have re-elected them again and again. Today they are waiting for 2014. But coming to one issue I would like to highlight. Sir, no. In India, any political party and any political leader can aspire to become the Prime Minister. Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Sir, my question is on governance.
Yeah, I'm on governance.
Governance.
But today, third front is history. It has no relevance for the present, no promise for the future. And just to say that...
because you had a bitter experience.
No, yes, no, just a minute.
You had a bitter experience in a coalition.
No, can I just complete, please? We have NDA,
Sir, Mamata Banerjee made you roll back so many times.
Please listen to me.
She made you roll back on the kerosene and LPG price hike in 2000, despite it being a consensus.
We are in the election debate, not in the prime time debate on Times Now,
Sir,
at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Burden of 600 crores on the
speak a little more. What I'm simply saying is,
coming to
kindly see that. Kindly see one thing. We have one emerging front from Tamil Nadu. Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav is sulking. Mamata Banerjee is keeping her whole cards. We have one front coming from Patna, where Nitish Kumar is trying to rope in people. This kind of uncertain coalition, we must understand, you can have a majority only with either the BJP or Congress being there. I'm not saying only BJP. We have NDA, but I'm quite assured whenever the time comes, the people of the country are going to bring in a very, very stable government with convincing majority under leadership of Narendra Modi. That's how I see the whole turn of events.
Any counters? Any counters? Abhishek Manu Singhvi is countering. Abhishek Singhvi is countering, Derek's countering.
Purely direct, factual. Narendra Modi is the great messiah about whom all of you swear. I have 4 questions about it. Very particular, very specific. Let's see if we have an answer. Point number 1, with this great governance of Mr. Narendra Modi for 10, 12, 14 years, why is Gujarat on official published 2012 Planning Commission statistics 16th in health in India, 14th on education, and 11th in infrastructure? Question number 2. On 25th of June 2005, in a widely publicized statement, and this is typical of Mr. Narendra Modi's shoot and scoot, with no relevance to facts, announced that the GSPC, the Gujarat State Petroleum Board, had discovered 20 trillion cubic feet of gas in Andhra Pradesh, Krishna Godavari belt. It turned out they discovered 1/10 of that. Question number 3. Agricultural growth, he claimed, was 9%. No, it's answering you. Let me finish.
You are free to bash
you have been very kind to Rahul Gandhi. You haven't bashed him at all. I can ask questions, factual.
Most welcome, most welcome.
9% agricultural growth proclaimed. 9% for Gujarat. Hundreds of states, Mr. Modi. Mr. Yogendra Alag from Gujarat, a very respected economist, independent person largely, said that Mr. Modi did 2 things. He did not adjust the figure of 9% for inflation. He gave an inflated with the inflation figure. And secondly, he took the lowest initial year and the highest last year to come to 9%. Actual growth rate is 3.5%. And last but not the least, 5 vibrant Gujarat summits, tom-tommed all over the world, tom-tommed all over India. Officially promised statement of Mr. Modi, 36 lakh crore investment. Rupees 36 lakh crore investment. Actual investment, rupees 3.1 lakh crore. That's less than 1/10. So that's Mr. Modi for you. Hype, noise, shoot and scoot. No facts.
Okay.
Now can I reply?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought all these statistics were brought in the Gujarat election campaign. Congress party lost decisively. Abhishek, you could have got something more on facts.
That doesn't change facts.
Just a minute. First of all, Planning Commission is controlled by a Congress close Mr. Deputy Chairman, and the Prime Minister is the Chairman of Planning Commission. The same, so many television channels and the newspapers have repeatedly declared Mr. Narendra Modi as the best Chief Minister of India on all these parameters which he is talking about.
I haven't heard such declaration.
No, please listen to me.
I never realized that you have to watch TV channels to decide if Mr. Modi is okay.
Please,
What's the factual answer?
Please.
Justify.
On the whole issue, on the agriculture front, Gujarat is having 11% consistent growth. It has been given award after award. Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan is having more than 15% growth rate. Therefore, my dear Abhishek Manu Singhvi, please look inwards.
Madhya Pradesh,
yes, please.
Gujarat.
I talked about Gujarat too.
Gujarat.
Go to see
Counter
the
from
growth of
Derek
Gujarat development in agriculture, in women care, in child care. You will see a lot of changes. If you are not willing to believe, good luck to you. But I'm sorry, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, this program, you have been defeated conclusively in Gujarat by all these allegations, and the people of the country are going to defeat you after 2 months'
Derek
time.
O'Brien is the counter for you, Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Derek 2009 and 2004.
Derek, Mr. Smith.
My counter is both to Mr. Singhvi of the Congress and to Mr. Prasad of the BJP.
Most welcome.
Because they look at each other through the prism of either one looks at each other through the prism of Gujarat and the other looks at the prism.
I must clarify. He rakes up Gujarat.
No, I was referring to him.
I haven't talked about Godhra yet.
Yes, I have to ask
the Congress, we are talking about governance. I'm not going to give you how A compares to B. I will take quickly just 30 seconds to give you 3 solid reasons about governance so you'll forget about Gujarat and the rest of the country also. 1. Which is the only state in India which has a stated industrial policy? One state in India.
This is not your quiz competition.
No. I'm giving you 3 questions.
No,
those who know the
UP has one, I can tell you.
Just 1 second. Which are the states in India which has a PPP policy?
I also have a question.
Third one, 1 second.
I also have a question. Which political leader? My question is,
let me
this is my quiz to you.
Never interrupt the quiz master.
Which political leader?
Never interrupt the quiz master.
Let me finish. Which political leader?
Let me finish. Arnab, I started asking.
My question
I started asking.
Which political leader?
I started asking. Okay, cool.
Which political leader?
And my third one, which is very interesting. MSME, medium and small scale sector, right? MSME, last year, 108% growth from 4,000 crores to 9,000 crores was Bengal, growth of 108%. Karnataka was next at 42%. Gujarat was somewhere in the 20s. So please let's not get into this game about throwing numbers. I can carry on for 15 minutes on numbers, but
I know you got
because we don't come to TV studios, because we don't come and have hyped up internet campaigns,
That's not true of you, Derek.
I rarely come, rarely. So please give every chief minister in the different states, see what work they're doing. Don't get carried away, because I know the hands are not going up for the hand, that is confirmed. But before you get carried away with this other hype and hoopla, pause, think, decide on your own, then act. Itna hi bolna tha.
Itna hi bolna tha. My quiz question for you, and you can think, I'll give you 5 minutes to think it over.
5 minutes?
Yeah. My question to you is, and this is simple, it's very simple for you.
Then it should take me 10
How
seconds.
long do non-Congress, non-BJP governments last on an average? You take the median average of Charan Singh, VP Singh, Chandrasekhar, United Front government, and then you can come up with a calculation. I'll ask you the answer.
Yeah.
The people of this country need stability for 5 years.
Absolutely.
Stability for 5 years, Derek O'Brien.
Absolutely.
My second quiz question to you is, which political leader... My second question, which political leader says...
You're a good quiz master. You give the question and the answer
Thank you very much. Which political leader says that if regional parties flock together, then they will also break up?
See, Arnab,
my next question is to Abhishek Manu Singhvi. You know the answer. It's
no,
Mamta
I don't
Banerjee.
know the answer, Arnab.
It's Mamta Banerjee.
Arnab, see, Arnab, one second. You know, this is like asking a question. This is like asking a question. Who set a national record in 100 meters swimming? Okay. The timings changed, Arnab.
My question is now about Rahul Gandhi. I think we should ask some questions about Rahul Gandhi.
You're the only quiz master who doesn't give the participant a chance to answer, but doesn't matter.
I will come to you.
Doesn't matter.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Abhishek Manu Singhvi. A leader is supposed to be known by his record. Here is Rahul Gandhi's record in Parliament. 43% attendance. National average is 76%. That's 30% less. 33% less. Number of questions asked, 0. National average is 292. Now, my question is for someone who is an elected member of parliament, vice president, hopeful, his poster is everywhere.
Fact check, Arnab, fact check. If you're saying Mr. Gandhi asked 0 questions, that may be right. But what do you mean the national average to asking a question in Parliament is 292? What is that number?
The number of questions that the data that corresponds in the period 4th January 2009 to 18th December 2013.
No, so per capita, you can't ask 292 questions in Parliament, surely.
The number of debates participated.
The written ones.
Now it's an average, Derek.
I have to ask only one question.
Derek, my question is
I
very
wanted to go just one
fact check.
Now, my question is simply this. By the way, you're defending Rahul Gandhi. Interesting.
No, I'm not defending anybody.
My question to you is,
I'm saying you made a factual mistake.
A person who doesn't ask questions and has a very poor attendance of attending Parliament.
Yes.
How is he a leader?
I'll add again, and also,
besides being a Gandhi,
a person who has no experience of governance because he's not a minister. That's your third point. Let me add it against Rahul Gandhi. That's because you are used here to a culture where your competence is judged only if you hold a post. What about, let me answer a question. Let me ask a question. What about the days and the months and the years he spent in the grassroots? What about the number of programs he's carried at the very grassroots rural level?
All the people who ask questions don't work in the grassroots?
His leadership depend on how many questions he asks in Parliament? He's the vice president of a party
which controls Parliament. He was asked this question. He was asked this question.
He has brought, Arnab, the single largest revolution in internal party politics in Youth Congress and NSUI, any time in 60 years, 65 years in any party, including the Congress. And he's now proposing primaries within the Congress as a pilot project, which is again the first time in India. Now that's his style of functioning. He doesn't ask questions in Parliament, he doesn't sit in Parliament, he goes out to the
Ravi Shankar Prasad.
I have to ask a very simple question.
Yes. We are talking about Rahul Gandhi.
His questions did not come because of lottery. How many supplementary questions did he ask?
Yeah.
Once he spoke about an elusive Kalavati, about something to be done. Where is Kalavati? What happened to him? No one knows. Or no, if Mr. Rahul Gandhi is so powerful as to change the rule game of Congress party, which Abhishek is so proudly claiming, what has stopped Rahul Gandhi from controlling corruption after corruption in his own government by making decisive intervention? Where was Rahul Gandhi when prices inflation was touching rocket high? Where was Rahul Gandhi when unemployment was rising in India?
Yes,
we know the power of Rahul Gandhi. By mere asking, 9 cylinder can become 12. Yeah. By his mere asking, 9 cylinder can become 12. If he has so much of power, why he could not control?
Rahul Gandhi has only the same power as Mr. Narendra Modi has, and both have no magic button to change Gujarat from 16. 1 minute.
Talk about India.
About 16. Gujarat remains 16th on health because Mr. Narendra Modi has no magic button. It remains 11th or on infrastructure, he has no magic button.
I'm sorry for interrupting you. What Rahul Gandhi could not do anything on corruption, on unemployment, on price rise. Come on.
Congress, UP has done all this corruption. You don't see it. What you have not done in Gujarat on corruption is to appoint Mr. Babulal Bukharia, who's a convicted person, as a minister.
Mr.
Purushottam Sarankia, convicted
person. Talk about nation, that's wrong. Talk about nation.
Mr. Singhvi, as part of my continued questioning on Rahul Gandhi, and since I had the opportunity of speaking to him on various subjects at length, I wouldn't pick up what he said in my interview. But I would certainly say let's pick up issues of defense and internal security. Now, Rahul Gandhi makes 2 comments, one on RSS, comparing RSS with Simi, and the other one was after the Mumbai blast. After the Mumbai blast, he says that it is impossible to stop every single terror attack, right? And as far as Simi is concerned, he equates the RSS with Simi, saying both preach hardline fundamentalist ideologies. Both these organizations have hardline fundamentalist ideologies. So my question to you, sir, is this, that whenever he does speak, and even on 1984, you just heard what he said, and the flag that it has drawn, does this really show the level of political maturity that is needed to be a leader at the national level?
You want me to answer? Let's just listen to the answer. Let's take them one by one.
Yes.
He has a view on RSS and Simi. I want to ask you why that reflects political immaturity according to you. In 1947-50, no less than Sardar Patel came close to using the same words about RSS. It was only on a technicality that it was not.
One second. Yes. Fact check. Okay, no. Is it a fact check? Is it a fact check?
It was taken as a highly communal organization. And if you have a right-wing fundamentalism,
fact check. You have to give it now.
I'm sorry.
It's a fact check. You have to give it.
Ever describe RSS as anti-national?
No.
Come on, listen to me.
Sardar Patel describes a communal organization. Communal organization.
Simi is anti-national. Simi works with Lashkar-e-Taiba. Simi works with ISI. There shows the level of immaturity.
Sardar
RSS is a national body.
found complicity.
Mr. Rahul Gandhi does not do any homework himself.
Ravi Shankar
Not
Prasad,
he's taught properly.
let's-
That's the problem.
Let's take out the facts.
One minute.
Facts.
See, Arnab, we are already practicing. We are already practicing.
Sardar Patel found and described the RSS as a communal organization. Fact 1.
He corrected thereafter.
Can I now finish?
He
You
never
made a
said
point, I interrupt
anti-national.
you. Second,
Don't justify the engagement.
Sardar Patel said
I'm sorry
that
to
the
say
Hindu Mahasabha was directly involved in Mahatma Gandhi's assassination and that the RSS has close links, although
And I
it could
want to
not
say
mean
today,
Mr. Godse's
No, I have to
membership
say
on the
today.
RSS.
Today,
Number
Congress
three.
Party is in
Number
alliance
three.
with Muslim League in Kerala.
Number three.
Today, Congress
Arnab,
Party is in
Arnab,
alliance with Muslim League in
Arnab,
Kerala. That is their communal record.
Simi, equally Simi.
Don't allot them time according to their parliament strength.
Arnab,
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Young India is watching.
Yes.
This is not what they want. Congress, BJP, communal.
India wants
Mat karo.
employment.
When you raise a
Young India
question,
wants
you have to
growth.
answer.
Talk about governance.
Answer.
And they are bringing in that.
No.
Yes.
Talk about governance.
Yes.
Talk about
You have to-
industry.
you have to
Talk
tell
about
the anchor
jobs.
to
Talk
ask the
about
question.
education.
He's
Stop this
asking
crosstalk.
about Simi.
Stop this crosstalk.
Very good. Keep it up. I'm only saying, third front or whatever name you take, Aam Aadmi's government is not stable at all. Upon the crutches
That
of
only the Congress can answer.
upon the crutches of Congress Party, which they are trying to say is corrupt.
Four
The larger
questions.
issue is country deserves development, country deserves growth, which can be delivered only by a stable
we have-
government.
In March 1997, a leader called Biju Patnaik, he said, what is a coalition government? Hear me out. Derek O'Brien. He said it's a constantly quarreling cluster of lobsters in a pot.
Great line, Arnab, I must say.
It's a coalition leader's line. And he said that keeping these 13 lobsters, and there were 13 constituents of the United Front, together is power, nothing else. Do you think, Derek O'Brien, and do you think here, sir, despite your leader's sadhu sannyasi comment, that the people of this country are interested in parties behaving like lobsters in a pot, constantly fighting, bickering, unable to give direction, unsure how long they will last, where the only headlines which this country will have is this coalition partner to pull out, that coalition partner to pull out. Do you believe that is what this country really needs at this point of time to move to the next league? Yes, please.
Gaurav, Arnab, India, please, can be described a lot more than you've chosen the analogy of a cookery book. No, India is not a cookery book. India is driven by its constitution. And the constitution will clearly state that those MPs which come together, which will be more than 273, will rule this country.
The Constitution talks about a simple majority. The Constitution does not say that
please
parties,
have faith.
parties
Please have
with
faith.
30
Arnab,
seats.
Arnab, don't be so cynical. Please have faith in the people of this country. They will vote in the way they want to vote. And after 15th of May, a government will be formed.
Tell me,
history, track record, and history says...
Track record?
Track record, and history says...
What track record?
15 years India has run with coalitions. That's the track record.
What track record?
History, modern history.
What track record? I have the track record of your party, which proved to be the biggest single nightmare for Vajpayee. You know, which threatened to pull out every single week. 1 minute, and I have the track record of this party.
Yes.
See,
a party which has done.
I would like to first respond.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify his nightmare comment, na? Because sometimes what to you is a nightmare to others may not be a nightmare. So I think let me clarify.
Yes, it wasn't a nightmare.
When coalitions are a reality, coalitions evolve. This 2009 was a coalition till 2012. It was a half-decent coalition till 2012. Then we came with the LPG cap. We walked out saying 6 won't do, take it to 12. And you don't need an Aadhaar card for an LPG. These guys didn't listen. Price rise, they didn't listen. Fertilizer price, they didn't. So don't run down coalitions. There are good coalitions and there are bad coalitions. But above the coalition,
Rahul Gandhi to demand that.
Above the coalition is the constitution. So India's got a cookery book with lobsters.
One second. No, as far as your party is concerned,
I will come on that.
You are a party that only ditches its ally.
I think you have your facts wrong. Fact check, okay?
Which fact
I'll
is
tell
wrong?
you why.
No,
Let me remind you, even for the UPA 1.
Don't remind me, remind this audience here today.
UPA 1 and UPA 2. Samajwadi Party has never been power hungry.
Oh, really?
They have not taken ministerial
really?
berths. When we saw that the nuclear deal was in the interest of the nation, it was the Samajwadi Party which supported this UPA 1.
Don't remind me.
In UPA 2 also, we have not withdrawn support.
MPs
we have,
cash,
in fact, SP is the one that has provided stability. That point you're missing.
Yes, you provide. At what price? At what price did you provide stability?
At every juncture.
At what price did you? What is the price you took to provide stability?
In the interest of the nation, we were the one who opposed them within the parliament. We never asked for any sharing of power. I think that point
really?
You're missing.
And on camera was BJP MPs carrying cash to parliament. Hardly the laughter they gave.
And one more thing.
They were whistleblowers.
I want to speak on the third front.
One minute. Fact check to you. Fact check to you, and I have a right to fact check.
Why not?
Is it true or not that in 1989 your leader ditched VP Singh, left the Janata Dal, joined Chandrasekhar to so-called save the Uttar Pradesh government? Is it true? Is it
when you are supporting the government, is it unconditional that even if they are not subscribing to the constitution, if they're going against the interest of the people, then we'll keep on supporting them?
And
I think that is not the spirit.
You talk about these people. Did
why
the people
not? Even
fact check to you. My question to you: is it true or not that right in the middle of the 1998 general elections, Mulayam Singh Yadav teamed up with the Congress and the BSP to topple the Kalyan Singh government by engineering splits in various places?
You know what happened?
People tell you to do that?
You know what happened?
Yes.
Then? Is it not the BJP which is responsible for the demolition of Babri Masjid? Is it the Librahan Commission? The Librahan Commission itself says the senior leaders of the party were conspiring so that we can bring down the secular fabric of this country.
If Abhishek Manu Singhvi,
Mr. Narendra Modi should be the first one to clarify why there was demolition of Babri Masjid. Why should he not talk about inclusive approach?
Ask a question to you.
Yeah, if Abhishek Manu Singhvi is honest tonight to the audience watching in every home tonight, as well as here, then he will accuse you of betrayal, because nobody else apart from Abhishek Manu Singhvi knows how you embarrassed Sonia Gandhi. In 1999, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, and don't be diplomatic today, in 1999, after the Vajpayee government lost the confidence vote, Mulayam Singh Yadav let the Congress party believe
you rely too much on media reports, Arnab. You need to talk to the politicians as well, I guess.
That he will support it. Sonia Gandhi walked up to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and she was asked, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, what numbers do you have? She said 272. Mulayam Singh Yadav backed off in a few hours. She was left red-faced. Did they betray you or not? Tell me, Abhishek Manu Singhvi today. Why do you call it betrayal?
Our party is entitled to take its own stand. If we have the numbers, we will decide which government should come in power and we should be part of it or support it from outside.
My question
you cannot decide that.
You cannot decide that. I have just proven to you right now.
No, you haven't.
What political conveniences? You ask the audience
you have given
what they think about political convenience.
The point that I'm trying to make is every party is entitled to decide whether to support or not support.
Shankar,
that
Prasad,
is the right
Derek O'Brien and Abhishek Manu Singhvi. Can coalition partners like the Samajwadi Party be trusted to form a government at the center given their own record? Abhishek
I think coalition groups of the third front themselves have had such a terrible track record that there is a very, very low zero or minus credibility.
Yeah.
That's what they have to overcome. I'm not saying that they can't be trusted at all, but they have to show that they will last for longer than a year or 2 years. That's the fact and reality of Indian politics. And that stability is a factor.
The sentiment has changed, and I think we need to keep that in mind. I started by saying there has to be stability in the third front government. That is very important. That's a point that has been missed.
Firstly, let me make a point about the terminology. The terminology which the Congress and the BJP are using. This third front, it's a bad name. Because the third front...
What do you want to call it? Fourth front?
No.
Fifth
See,
front.
because the third front has a baggage. It has a baggage of the left. And now the communists have become irrelevant. What we are really talking about is, for want of a better term, a federal front, a United India Front. But the purpose, forget about the name. Yeah. The purpose is it has to be operative federalism, where the states who come with these numbers, and I dare say that collection of numbers will be more than the BJP and the Congress combined.
Okay.
Those states will get a chance to express themselves.
Okay, I have 4 questions. My 4 questions are coming up. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Many young friends are sitting here, just to remind you, that Deva Gaura's government, quote-unquote third front government, lasted for 1 year. Mr. I.K. Gujral's government thereafter lasted for 1 year. If a past is a precedent, the future of third front or fourth front or federal front is not going to be promising either. Because in any coalition in India, to govern a vast country like India, you have to align with one of the other major political parties.
Okay.
That's the point number one.
And
the second issue is today, you have got already 3 fronts. One in Tamil Nadu, one germinating in Patna by Karsi Nitish Kumar, one being probed from Calcutta. Which front the people are going to...
Here's the straight answer. Here's the straight answer.
Yes.
There are governments which have been in place in states. Their track record of development and what they've delivered...
Who will be the leader?
One second. Just because one party has named a leader, that does not mean everyone has to line up and name their leader. The way our constitution is structured, it will become very clear after the 15th of May who will lead. But I think the big point is the state governments who have done good work will be rewarded by the people.
Now, can I just make a quick...
I have 4 questions now,
just
please.
Just a quick rebuttal.
I have 4 questions.
One just remark I want to make.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad said that third front, and you know, the past and the experience has been bad. I would say that in Delhi, there was no third front earlier. Now, Aam Aadmi Party emerged as a winner there, and this is the beginning. So there's always a first chance, and this might be the election when all the regional parties come together and they form a stable government which lasts for 5 years.
Good luck.
That I think is very important.
Good luck to you if you're willing to have an alliance with Aam Aadmi.
I accept your good luck because it matters a lot to us coming from BJP.
If you want to have an alliance with Aam Aadmi Party, that's what democracy is about.
Yes.
I'm only saying third front or whatever name you take, Aam Aadmi's government is not stable at all. Upon the crutches of Congress party, which they are trying to say is corrupt.
4
the
questions.
Issue is country deserves development, country deserves growth, which can be delivered only by a stable government.
We have 4 minutes on the debate. I'm going to ask 1 question each. I want 1 single sentence replies. My first question is to the BJP. Don't dodge it. Don't duck it. Tell me today, irrespective of what your numbers are, you will never consider a change in the prime ministerial candidate post the elections if the allies demand it. You would rather stay out of power than have anybody apart from Narendra Modi as the prime minister of the BJP. Tell me here today that there will be no change, that no ally will ever force you to change your prime ministerial candidate. You'd rather be out of power than put someone else.
The great Arnab Goswami, the reply is straight and simple. It is hypothetical. The people of the country are going to give such a good, stable majority to BJP that Narendra Modi is going to become the Prime Minister.
My question, who would you choose? Who would you choose? Jayalalitha, Mulayam Singh Yadav or Mamata Banerjee?
You're asking me this question?
Yes. As the Prime Ministerial candidate.
Focus Lok Sabha.
Yes.
And I'm the Trinamool Congress spokesperson. So I'll tell you what our focus is.
Our
focus is very simple. You wanted 1 sentence, I'll give it to you in 1 sentence. We've done a lot of great development in Bengal. Our focus now is to win as many as those 42 seats as possible. That is our goal. Everything else after 15th of May.
Okay, you leave the option open. Would you also, is Mulayam Singh Yadav a prime ministerial candidate in any third front alliance?
I think I made it clear during the earlier segment of the debate that our aim would be to show the voters of UP that we have implemented our manifesto, we have delivered on our promises, and get as much as 70 or 75 seats from the state of UP, and then try to put together a common minimum program that takes the nation to the path of progressiveness.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi, think this one through clearly. My question to you is, will 10 Janpath stop trying to rule 7 Racecourse Road? Or in the context of Rahul Gandhi, will Tughlaq Road stop trying to control 7 Racecourse Road? given the bitter experience of the dual power centers which senior leaders like your Digvijay Singh themselves have openly criticized, would you say today and commit to me, right, that Rahul Gandhi will not try to be the dual power center to somebody else from the Congress party?
Two questions.
I'm asking
question is to me.
Yes.
2 questions and 2 answers. Answer number 1, I totally deny your dual power center problem because we wouldn't have been ruling for 10 years with this huge disharmony between 2 power centers. On the contrary, it has shown exemplary harmony. Question number 2, Rahul Gandhi has himself said, and in no less than your own interview, he is ready for any job. And the subtext is...
He also said power is poison.
Can I finish? Subtext is the MPs, if the Congress comes. But he, unlike Narendra Modi, doesn't say, main, mujhe, mera, maine. He says, respect has to be given to MPs. Only question, respect.
Right.
That when they come back, they can't be taken for granted. Yes, our choice is Rahul Gandhi,
because
provided we have the MPs, provided we have the Congress.
Abhishek Manu Singhvi.
Well, gentlemen, may I first thank all of you, and let's have a round of applause, please, for our esteemed panelists. It's been an excellent debate.
Thank you.
Now, I don't know whether it'll be Rahul Gandhi, Modi, or someone else, Mamta Banerjee, Mulayam, or someone else, Jayalalitha, or some other dark horse. But I certainly have enjoyed this debate. I think the issue of leadership is very critical and very important. And I hope this debate today has helped raise the awareness on the issue of leadership and perhaps determine which way you will vote. Thank you for being with me. To my panelists, to my audience, and to all our viewers. Thank you very much.